Hi everyone, JTeam is back. Today we will bring to you a movie with some quite sensitive scene. You should consider before watching. The movie, Don John. Our main starring was John Martello, a bartender. His life looked perfect, had a house, a car, didn't worry about food and clothes. Every day he practiced sports, ate with family, watched football with friends, and sometimes went to the church. Went to the bar and met some pretty and sexy girls also. One day spent like that was enough until old. What a dream life. However, John had a hobby of watching 18+ movies to M. But not always watching adult movies brought pleasure to the viewer. Because sometimes it took much time to choose the suitable movie or the content was too bad, for example. That day, John and two best friends went to the bar to watch The Beautiful Girl. They both gave the girls a rating. Beautiful chest 5 points, beautiful face 3 points, beautiful butt 8 points. Suddenly his friends discovered a girl in a red dress in front of her eyes with a perfect figure, curves and face. They all agreed this girl 10 points. John immediately reached out to the girl, the two danced together and even kissed.
We will rock you. Singing.
But when John expressed his wish to spend the night with her, she refused, then the girl got in a taxi and left. He returned to the bar, not in a very good mood for losing his prey. But then, with a glance, he found the next prey. He continued to hold in the arms of another beautiful and sexy girl. Also communicated, danced together and kissed. But the end result was different. The two of them took the car home, doing something that everyone knew. Even though it was real gun and real bullet, John thinks it feels like watching the movie even more. After a fierce battle, John opened the pen film again to watch it and continued. 10 minutes later, at the end of extra time, he closed the computer and got back to bed. It turns out for many years, despite sleeping with a lot of hot beautiful girls, but no girl could make him feel like watching porn. The next day, John went to church with his family. Every week, he went to confession to the priest once. He mentioned how many times of sex and how many times he watched movies in the past week. Since Sunday, I watched 17 times. For all sins, including those I forgot, I truly repent. After receiving the priest's forgiveness, he went home with relief. John's family was also full of conflicts. The angry father never listened to his son's words, always gave his opinion. His mother was a good woman who just wanted her son to marry, and the little sister always plugged her head into the phone next to her, no matter what happened. A child raised in an unloved family was neither taught to love others. So, he could only deal with the pressures while watching porn and one-night love. But through so many one-night loves, this time, John wanted to try a new relationship. He wanted a real love. And his target was the girl in red who rejected him at the bar the day before. Through friends he knew her name was Barbara and found her Facebook. After making contact, he successfully met her. When the two had not been able to talk for long, John had told her his purpose. "I want to knock you unconscious, do you want me to make it clear?" But unexpectedly Barbara was not angry at all, but also liked John's bluntness. The two of them suddenly chatted happily. After that, the two went to the movies together. Since being addicted to porn, John had lost his feelings for regular movies. Watching a romantic movie made him feel tortured every minute. But for Barbara, the love in the movie was admirable. After watching the movie, John knew she had being touched by the love in the movie, he kissed her. Later, it was limited to kisses and even Barbara's apartment was still unable to enter. Going to be successful, but sent back, John was very upset. But by night when he looked at her pictures, he felt a little more relieved. The next day two people went to the bar. When Barbara's friends saw John, they immediately patted admiration. She felt very happy about that. Over time, Barbara brought John home. Her parents were quite satisfied with this daughter's boyfriend, seeing that everything was in order. Finally, one day John successfully brought Barbara to bed. Thought it could start a passionate love. But unexpectedly, when watching porn, he was discovered by Barbara.
What the fuck are you doing?
I was just reading email.
No, you weren't. You were watching porno.
I saw what that was.
I saw you.
It turned out, Barbara was a serious person with love. Finding out that her lover after having then watched movies, so she was very angry. To calm his lover, John said it was just a joke sent from his friends.
You never gonna do it again?
Early the next morning, John actually deleted the data of the movies on the computer hard drive.
Since last Sunday, I had sexual intercourse out of wedlock 7 times, but I stopped watching.
But for a while, John still couldn't think of why he had to stop watching. So in the end he thought of a method that all men think of. If your partner doesn't like you watching a movie, then you don't have to tell her, watch when she is not around. In addition to being irreconcilable and contradictory in watching John also began to let Barbara join his daily life. Introducing her to two best friends also brought her home, took tutoring classes and watched movies with her that he found boring. Not wanting John to do housework and shop furniture, Barbara wanted to change all his habits. She didn't think John sexy.
Come on. Why? What's wrong? Why? Because it's not sexy, that's why.
John wondered if he really loved Barbara, but after so much effort, he could only agree to her request. At the same time, in the supplementary class, John met a middle-aged woman named Esther. Unlike Barbara, although she saw John watching on the phone, she did not dislike it, but also suggested to him some movies to watch. At first, John just assumed she was paying attention to her muscular body, so he refused to get acquainted with her. After that, John and his lover have a problem with porn again, because Barbara saw the web history on John's computer. It turned out that he cheated on her for so long, making Barbara very sad and cry. Because of that issue, two people argued and gave their own opinion. Barbara said movies and porn were very different. John says people give awards too. Eventually John won the fight, but the two of them broke up. That night, John had beaten his own record for one day. Until now my record is 10 times a day. I thought I would never break it, but today, I got 11 times. After the breakup, John's temper became worse and worse, not satisfied, starting to riot. Parents were constantly asking about his relationship with his lover. He didn't dare to talk about breaking up with his parents. At this time, Esther reappeared. Hearing John broke up, she didn't say anything, comforting him, physically and mentally in the car. Esther then analyzed the problems that arise in John's love, and made a recommendation that it is possible to masturbate without watching. Later, he went home to try but found that, if he didn't watch the movie, there was nothing he could do. In the panic, not knowing if he was sick or not, John hurriedly looked for Esther. Arriving home, Esther talked about the fact that John was addicted to porn movies. He had never truly loved a girl. When having sex was almost from one side, it made him feel like he wanted to watch more. The way to solve this problem was to learn to love women. Immersed in the relationship of two, John looked at the woman in front of him. Although time had taken her beauty, her intelligence and charisma made her more unique than everyone else. The two people just kept intertwined. This time John really felt the pleasure that was always looking for, even more so when watching porn. After being treated by Esther, John's illness was much better, no longer reliant on movies. Gradually he expanded his social relations and started a new life. In the end, John found out he had been in love with this middle-aged Esther woman ever before, and together with Esther began an unprecedented love in life. In the process of loving Barbara, John used sex only to experience love. Love was only one way at that time. Barbara's request to John seemed to be good for him, but actually took the name of love. True love doesn't really need outstanding visuals. No need to force the other person to do this or that, but also want to do them more than that. How about your love? Please watch all and feel this movie. Bye.